Blog Talk Radio.
Take a moment right now.
Good afternoon, world. Good evening or good morning, wherever time zone you are. Thank you so much for joining us and get inspired with Joyce. I'm your host, Joyce Ajanaku. We have an exciting show here tonight, and if you want to join us live, you can dial in by calling 646-478-5589 on Facebook or on Twitter. On Facebook, it will be www.facebook.com/getinspiredwithjoyce or on Twitter at www.twitter.com/getinspiredwjoy. We have an incredible man of God in-house tonight. He's an anointed man of God. He loves to worship. He loves the Lord. And it's been such a blessing to me, myself. And I actually gave you a little bit of his CD as an intro, a little bit of his album as an intro, and is none other than my personal brother, Minister Tutu Akinkuowo. Minister Tutu, are you online? Can you hear us?
Yes, I am. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Very good.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight. It's really, really exciting to hear your voice.
Thank you
guys,
for having me.
Thank you so much. You guys, I have to tell you, if I say someone is very humble, when we talk about being humble and someone who is just calm wherever you see him, anywhere you see him is always calm, and it has to be Minister Tutu. This is an incredible man of God. And you're like, oh, wow. And you know what? I've always wondered how you managed to stay so calm. How you've managed all of it. During the years I've seen you, and I'm like, how can you stay? You look like nothing phases you, pretty much. And I'm like, how do you manage to stay that way over the years?
Well, I don't know if I could really answer that correctly, but it's I have a very calm demeanor, and one thing about me is I'm ever the optimist. So no matter how bad things get, even though I'm worried about it, or I may not show it to people, I may be worried, but at the back of my mind, I always think, it's going to be okay. Something's going to work out, and that's the way I choose to live. I just like to be very optimistic in any situation.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, it's nicely put. I mean, if we can all be like that, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I see you worshiping, and you worship with so much passion, and it just speaks of the love you have for God. And I've been blessed to be under your ministration several times. And I remember you were at my wedding. You sang at my wedding as well. And
yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm like, what is worship to you? How can you define worship, or can you define worship, really?
There's several ways you could do that. And you learn as you go each day. And if I have to put a definition to it, I would just say that it is just acknowledging God, as in, you can worship a whole lot of things, people, but when we're talking about worshiping God, I would say acknowledging Him and all the power and glory in everything that you do, which doesn't necessarily mean music, or it's basically about your entire being, just living everything to Him, that God, I'm all yours. This is me. It's not about me. Just do what you want with me. And when you get to that point, then you can really get into His presence and say, okay, God, take all of me. And that's, if I could define it, like I have a whole lot to say about it, but I don't know if one definition is good enough. You know, you could call it a conversation between God and man, a dialogue that always go constantly. It is given unto God. It's you know, it can be a whole lot of things, you know. But the most important thing to me is letting everything go and giving all to God, acknowledging God in everything that you do.
Acknowledging God in everything you do. Yes. I think you put it so well. You know, like you said, can we really find maybe a one word to suit it? It's like a communication between a man and, you know, and God. And you know what? I've been looking at a lot of posters, and I see you're doing a lot of wonderful things. And I'm like, wow, you know, I'm super, super proud of you. I know everybody's proud of you. Your family's proud of you as well. And when you're actually called to go minister somewhere, out of curiosity, like, what can't you compromise? Like, when you go out, when they call you to come minister somewhere, what are the things you cannot compromise as you mount the stage?
You know, everything is different. In a perfect world, you want to have everything perfect. But as we all know, we don't live in a perfect world.
Right.
So when I'm called to minister at an event, a church program, or for an organization, I try to do a lot of homework. I try to know exactly where I'm going. You know what churches is what, you know. I like to know some of their protocols, know exactly what they do, because, you know, coming from my own background, from my church, there may be certain things that we do in my church that an emphasis may not be placed on that at a different location. It doesn't mean that what they're doing is wrong or anything. But, you know, so I like to do homework, know exactly where I'm going, and I ask questions.
Right.
I try not to go over, if I go somewhere, if I'm giving just 5 minutes, I try to stay within that 5 minutes, you know, out of respect for the organization. And I don't know if I don't compromise us. I try not to be too demanding on anybody, because, you know, this is about God. Because when you get on that thing, it's all about God. You don't want to place a lot of burden on people, and before you know it, are we worshiping God here, or is this a superstar show situation? So I try to be as accommodating as I can. You know, in a perfect world, I would love to have everything. I would love to have the whole band with me, have the sound be in tip-top shape.
Perfect.
In a perfect world, you know, I like to have that if it's possible, but, you know, that may not always work. You know, it also depends on where you're going. You know, which church are you going to be, you know. So that's, I try as much as possible to accommodate as much as I can.
Wow, that's awesome. I was just wondering, you know, because I see you going, you know, you're doing your thing all over, and I'm like, let me find out, you know, which, by the way, you know, it's wonderful just to see, you know, men of God just doing what they're called or believe they're called to do. It's just amazing. Let's talk about your new album, which, by the way, I have to tell you this: my husband knows almost all the songs on your CD. I have to say that. And we absolutely love it.
Amazing.
Like we love it. You guys, you have to get it. And thank you so much for my autographed copy that you sent through my brother. Truly, truly appreciate it. And you know, the lyrics, well written. I mean, I'm like, whoa. What are the stories? I mean, maybe one or two you would like to share with us. What's the story behind, you know, your lyrics? Where did they come from?
Well, you know, when we did that album, it's a really long story. I did a lot of the writing, but I also worked with other people. Like, you know, like the first song, for example, is a song called "Welcome," and I remember that song. I had the melody of that song in me for a long time, and I would play it, but I had no lyrics to it. and I would just play it and
Wow.
play it and play it, and I would play, but it had no lyrics. So
Wow.
I'm in Connecticut one day for a wedding. I was invited to sing, and I had a sister, Yemi Eleshimo. She's a great singer with me. We were to sing together, sing a duet together. And we just sat down and we talked, and I said, I have this song, and I don't know what to do with it. And I started to play it. And she heard it and said, oh, can you keep playing that? And I kept playing it, and she said, okay, let's do this. And she starts to sing, and, before you know it, we had the song while we were waiting for the wedding. And, before this album, actually, I never really considered myself a songwriter. I didn't think of myself that way.
You're kidding.
I had, I really, I would sing a lot, but I start songs and I don't end it. I may write a song and leave it there. So this is actually a very true story. Before I started recording the album, I remember praying to God that, I get invited to events and churches, and I sing a lot of songs. I like Chris Tomlin, Matthew West, Franklin.
Yes.
I like all these guys. And so when I get invited, I sing their songs. So I began to pray. I said, God, okay, when I go out to sing, I don't want to sing songs from other artists all the time. I need you to give me a song to sing that will be my song. And I'm happy to say God answered that prayer. And basically all I really needed to do was actually sit down and relax, because I can be pretty restless sometimes. Sit back and relax.
Wow.
And, you actually have a whole lot of songs in you. And so I started putting all the pieces together. I had songs recorded on my phone that maybe just one line, and I would just pick them up and sit with them and just, it all goes to the title of the album. I call the album Gratitude, because when you listen to a song, the songs that just say, God, I thank you, that songs of thanksgiving, that songs of praise, and I said, thank you. This song is giving gratitude to God. That was how the whole album started.
Right. Wow. That's just wonderful. It's nice to listen to people's story, like how they started, what they were doing, and all that. And yours is inspiring to me. And I believe a lot of people will get inspiration from this. That you have a lot of songs in you, like you said. It's amazing. We just need to tap into it, believing, just understanding what you're saying, getting from what you're saying. In other words, we need to tap into it. It's already there. And talk to God to give you, I guess, more vision, to be able to grab it and understand that you do have a lot of song in you. And I know I've always wondered, I'm like, when are you going to drop your single CD or something? I just believe, the world needs to hear this powerhouse, because I believe you're very, I know you're very anointed, and, you love to worship. Why did it take you this long, though?
That is another story in itself. I did always say that I was going to, get out there and I was going to record, but again, I don't know if I was motivated, but it seemed like I was just waiting. Like I'm waiting for somebody to, how you just sit there and you wait to be discovered. So sort of, you just sit there and just wait. And I got to the point where I think back in 2004, this may sound like a very funny story, but I'm kind of a sports fan, so I like to watch sports. And there was a coach that he used to coach the team, the Redskins, and he's a very famous guy. I think you may have heard of him, Joe Gibbs. He came back to coach the team, and somebody asked him, "Why did you come back?" And he said a statement that, even though I wasn't there, that was a statement that really got to me. And he said, because I don't want a situation where 10, 20 years from now, I look back and I say, I could have done this now.
Wow.
And it seemed like he was just talking to me. And I said to myself, I don't want a situation where maybe maybe when I'm 50 or 60, I look back and I say, I could have done this then. That was how it all started. And the motivation just came to me from there, that you don't have to wait until you're discovered or somebody pulls you out.
Do something.
And I started, I had to say to myself, and I really didn't have money, and being the sort of perfectionistic person that I am, I want everything to be perfect. I want the best. If I can get the best keyboard player, I will get them. So I knew that was going to cost money, and I didn't have a sponsor, and I was saying to myself, how am I going to do this? But I started, and I kept going, and, till today, to be honest, I really don't know where the money came from.
It's really amazing. Wow, isn't it amazing? I mean, we listen to it and we love it, and we're like, okay. So we didn't know this. We don't know what the story is behind, the CD and all that. And just listening to you, it gives me encouragement that, you know what, like you said, at least you won't be blamed for not trying. You did try. You brought it out. And look at the way it is today. Everybody. I mean, I haven't seen anyone that doesn't love your CD. We had a birthday recently, and we had the CD playing there, and people are like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "You haven't heard?" So,
wow.
So I'm your mini marketer on the side.
Wow,
on the side.
That is really nice.
So what's the most rewarding, I guess, or encouraging thing? Someone walked up to you and told you about the CD and said, "You know what? I feel this way," or I thank God for this. Someone just walking up to you, what has been the most encouraging thing or rewarding thing someone told you about the release?
It's amazing. I get a whole lot. One song that surprisingly to me, a lot of people have told me about is the song "Waiting on You." I think that's the 6th track. It's amazing. That song. I get a Facebook email and they tell me, this is what I'm going through right now, and I listened to this song. I think there was an email I got from someone I didn't even know, and it said, I had to go see the doctor this day, and I had to go through surgery, which I was scared. I didn't know what was going to happen. And as I was going, I was playing the song, and she actually, I think it was a lady, and she was like, as I was going through the surgery, I was playing the song. I was like, how do they even allow you to do that in the hospital? And that was really a blessing to me.
Because you mentioned that,
that.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's just profound. I love that song. And that's one of the songs I have queued up here, too, coincidentally. But I love that song. So I'm going to play a little bit, just maybe a minute, because I'm looking at the time. With a little, let's see. I think we're still good with time. So I'm going to play it a little bit for our listeners, okay? So we'll take a little music break. We'll be right back. If I could get it on there.
Waiting on you.
So that's a little gist of track 6. I love that track. And Minister Tutu, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yes. I love that track.
That is one of my favorite tracks.
I love it. I mean,
almost didn't get to the album.
Really? Wow. I am thankful that you. I know so many people out there too. Will be thankful and grateful that it did make it on. Especially, the lady that you said he knowed you, which is wonderful. So for downloads and for more information about you, how can our listener get in touch with you?
They could log on our website. It's ministertutu.com, and there you could see a whole lot about me. I'm on Facebook, facebook.com, where you could actually just go /Minister Tutu. I'm also on Twitter @Minister Tutu, so I'm everywhere. And
wow, yeah.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
I'm everywhere.
So we can. So you guys, you heard him. It's everywhere, so you can get in touch with him. It's on Facebook, all over the place. You know what? Thank you so much. And then, real quick, for someone who's talented, gifted, and believe they have what it takes. One of their calling is to go out there and be a minister in songs, but it's a little hesitant. What can you say to them tonight? What would be your advice to them?
My advice would be pray a whole lot, and pray again. Because, if you really, music can be very polarizing, and you need to know exactly what it is you want to do. No playing around. If you want to be, you can't be hot. You can't be neither hot or cold. If you're going to be hot, then be hot. If you're going to be cold, then be cold. If you're going to be a Christian artist, you want to be a music minister, then you really have to be ready for it. And know exactly what it is. You have to be ready for it. Don't worry about money and things like that. It's okay. Money is good. But that can't be the primary reason why you actually sing or minister in songs. It's good if it comes, but that can't be the number one thing. The number one thing for me is first to lead people in worship of God, and the way I do that is through music. Second, to inspire people. I've discovered that you can inspire and you can be a blessing unto people. When you have your goals and you have your priorities straight, then you'll be okay. Money, all that comes down the line. And like I said, it's okay if you get paid and you make a lot. That's good, but that can't be your primary purpose. And then you need people around you. You need accountability, people that could tell you when you missed it. You need a pastor. You need a pastor that could say to you, "Hey, you're wrong," when you are, and you need someone like that in your life.
That's really deep that you said that, because a lot of us don't. You need positive people around you. You need pastors, like you said. I mean, a lot of us don't have that kind of privilege. I won't even say we don't have that kind of privilege. Is using the resources that are next to you. How about that? Knowing the people that are around you that can be of help, or know people that know people. You know what, Minister Tutu, it's been really, really great having you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I called you once, and I know I'm going back and forth with my texts. I love texting, by the way. and here you are. Thank you so much, and I pray that God will continue to use you as a tool to impact this generation and the world around you. So is there anything, before we go, is there anything in the works, or are you working on anything else? I know your music video, I forgot to talk about that. Your music video for You Are Great is out. I love the concept. I think it's wonderful. Do you have any more coming out?
Yeah. by popular demand, we'll probably be doing Waiting on You very soon.
Yes.
Do a video for that. And I also am in the process of writing songs for an upcoming live recording that I'll be doing. Not set yet on the dates, but I'm still in the songwriting process. And I'm also singing a lot with my choir in my church, Victory Temple.
Awesome.
And we have a few things we're working on also.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's great. Thank you so much again. You know, I pray. I hope hopefully you come back on the show to as you're completing your project to talk to us. Thank you so very much. I pray that God will continue to bless you. You know what, you guys, that's all the time we have for today. And I want to say a big thank you all for joining us tonight via Twitter, phone, Facebook, and all over the place. And remember, it's never too late to be all that God has called you to be. Keep dreaming. There's nothing impossible. You heard him. You know, if you want to do, if this is what you want to do, you want to be a singer, whatever you want to do, start a business, be whatever you're aspiring to do. You know, keep at it. Just go make that move, and the Lord will back you up. Pray, and the Lord will give you directions. To close us out, I'll leave us with some of Minister Tutu song. I believe it's track 7. Until next time, keep dreaming. I will see you at the top. I'm your host, Joyce Ajanoko. Have a fantabulous day, like I love to say. Thank you again, and bye-bye. Let's see, I'm looking for the track. There we go.
My help comes from